Well, hello, friends. Merry Christmas and welcome back to the program. Today, I was going to make a tweet, but something happened while I was making the tweet, and I decided to make a video first. So, the thing that happened was I wanted to tweet a screenshot of the HTML5 test in Ladybird because this page is really starting to come together. I think we've been making great progress on layout, and the score is not super bad. Of course, lots of room for improvement. And I just thought it would be a nice thing to share with people. But the way that the 266 here covers the text scores, it doesn't look nice. So I thought before I tweet a screenshot of the thing, let's figure out what's going on here and fix that, and then I can share a screenshot of it. So what we are going to do is my usual layout debugging routine. Firefox does slightly better than we do, but let's ignore that. So I have this save page WE extension that saves the whole page as a single HTML file, which is super helpful for debugging. So then we should be able to open that here, and still looks a bit busted, although the custom fonts didn't load, but we still have a layout problem. So it's probably not related to the font then. Apparently the custom font loads in Firefox, but we don't load it. So same thing with these fonts actually. So there's probably something related to the way that we load fonts in these single HTML file archives. But let's focus on this issue. So what we're going to do next is we're just going to nuke as much as possible of this page while keeping the error intact, or the bug. So we will use the Firefox DevTools for this, which allows us to just take everything that isn't that thing and delete it quite easily. Let's see, header. And just deleting all these things that we don't care about. Okay, so let me save that as, I'll call it H1, and let's see if it's still broken here. Yes, it is. Fantastic. Okay, still looks correct in Firefox, but still overlaps. The number still overlaps the text here for whatever reason. So we will continue deleting stuff if we can. So usually in the head tag, there's a bunch of gunk like scripts and style sheets. Okay, that one we probably need because that's the main.css. So actually, let me zoom this in a little bit for the video audience. Okay, there we go. So just deleting stuff as much as possible from the test page, as long as nothing breaks, that's good. And at this point we can save it again, reload, still broken in Ladybird, fantastic. And now let's see if we can simplify the DOM as well. So what I like to do is I like to just take, I like to sort of get rid of these parent wrappers if you can. And this is a bit easier to do when you're dealing with HTML text, but what you can do is you can do a cut of this element and then paste that into the body, or at least I thought you could. You can in Chrome. I keep mixing them up. So maybe what I can do is I can drag this under the body instead. Yes, that I can do. And that allows me to delete its wrapper. So we can do that. Save, reload, still broken. Great. Do it again. Save. Reload. Changed a bit, but still has the bug, so that's good. We drag that out. Okay. Save. Reload. Still has the bug. This is fantastic. Actually, this is getting really small. Oops, that didn't go quite right. I've noticed that sometimes if you use the undo feature in the Firefox DevTools, then things can happen to the DOM that you get into a state that it was never really in. Because I don't know, they sort of something goes wrong in the undo feature, and I've never quite understood exactly how to articulate what goes wrong. Okay, so now we are getting down to the bare minimum here. Can we get rid of that as well? That would be really nice. Okay, see, we still have the weird awkward overlap here, so that is actually great. The page is now stupid simple, other than potentially huge style sheet, of course, which we have to deal with, but this is really, really good. So I think we don't need the Firefox DevTools anymore at this point, but we can instead just go and do this with Vim or something like that. So let's use Prettier to just format the HTML, making it a little bit easier to work with by hand. And let's see how many lines we're looking at. 2,200 something or other. Cool. All right, so I guess I'm just gonna delete 200 lines at a time. This is what I typically do, just delete a bunch at a time. See if the bug still remains. It's not the most interesting thing, but it is extremely effective at tracking down these types of issues. Oh shoot, I'm not loading the right file. Okay, let's start that over. I gotta switch this to H2 HTML. Hello? Let's just make sure that we are looking at the right file with Ladybird as well. H2. Okay, now let's try to delete stuff again. Okay, so at this point we've unbroken the page. So that stuff has to stay here. All right. Can we delete these custom fonts, I wonder? Just get them out of the picture? Okay. So we just go 20 lines at a time, as long as it's broken. Okay, not unbroken. Okay. Okay, so we need H2, which I guess makes sense because we have H2 down here. Okay, so let's get past the H2 and try to get rid of everything else that we don't need. Okay, oh, that was too much. But this stuff is just melting off here. Yeah. Let's see, do we maybe we only needed the H2 style. Okay, that's good, that's good. So let's clean up all the markup here, get rid of white space and meta tags and attributes we don't care about, and let's see what we can do here. Okay, so font be gone. All right, still has the problem. Font weight, font size, line height, text transform, and there is the bug. Text transform uppercase. Okay. Right. So what is going on here then? We are doing a text transform uppercase on everything within this H2. Okay. And then it's screwing up the text somehow so that this ends up on top of it. Maybe I should delete the third part. Yeah, maybe I didn't need that. Maybe I just need the last word here, scores. Do I need the color? No. So I'm thinking this is probably going to be that we are measuring this text and then painting the uppercased text, which would explain why the layout has one size, but then what we paint ends up at a different size. Because obviously in many typefaces, like such as this font right here, we don't have the same width for a glyph in its uppercase and lowercase variants. So if we're measuring browser scores in lowercase here, then we get like one width. And if we measure it, or if we paint it in uppercase, yeah, so this is the width that we're getting, the lowercase width. But we render it in uppercase, and this happens. And the 464 doesn't move when we switch this, which is a pretty good indicator that's what's happening. Okay. So let's open this up in Clion. Also, why do I not have a Clion running? Okay. So let's search for text transform, which is a CSS style property. This is parsing it. So I'm looking for this one, I guess. So how are we using this? This is used, can I resize that? Paintable box. Right, so if text transform is uppercase, then we do a Unicode to uppercase full conversion of the text for rendering. And then that's what we paint text fragment. Fix me, text transform should be done already in layout, since uppercase glyphs may be wider than lowercase, etc. Well, somebody was thinking ahead, but but didn't actually do the work. But seems like my past self foresaw this problem, but decided to just make it fix me instead of solving the issue. So I guess we have to solve the issue. Turning this into a fix me video in retrospect, but this is browser hacking, because we are here with a browser mission. So it should be done already in layout. How do we do that? So I guess when we compute the text for rendering currently, we use that to collapse white spaces, so that if you have like two white spaces or a whole bunch of them, browser engines collapse these into a single white space character so that it still looks like this. And that's just white space collapse happening. And text for rendering is the function that implements that. But it seems like text for rendering could also perform the text transform. There's really no reason that it doesn't do that, I think. Text rendering, return text rendering. Oh, wait, who sets that? Compute text for rendering. Note, this collapses whitespace into a single ASCII space if collapse is true. Also, I don't love this comment color in the IDE. I just reinstalled CLion this morning. How can I how can I tweak that just real fast here? Line comment. Do not inherit. Oh, maybe I should inherit. Let's make it a little greener. Green is a little easier to read. Something like that. Okay. Back on the track. Compute text for rendering, which is called by the inline level iterator with a gross const cast. Sure, whatever. So in compute text for rendering, if it's a password input, then we just make little stars. If we shouldn't collapse and we have non-empty data, so I think this is when you use one of the CSS whitespace :pre or whatever, then we don't perform the collapse. Collapse is the default behavior, but there's a way to prevent it, which is how pre-tags work. Okay, and then there are some shortcuts here. Unnecessarily allocating a string builder. I am a little bit suspicious of the claim that allocating a string builder would be an issue, but sure, whatever. So we have a couple of different paths that set mtext for rendering. So I think what I want to do is I want to take the transform here and just yoink it out of the painting code. So we nuke that fix me. We take this stuff that transform the thing. Compute text for rendering. So I guess maybe what we want to do here is I want to do the text transform in a bunch of different cases. Let's make a helper. Static deprecated string. Apply text transform or something like that, I guess. Okay. And then here we can return, otherwise return string. All right, and then we just run it on the inputs. And where is this from? It is from libunicode character types.h. Sure. And then we just have to apply text transform, passing in, we don't have the text transform here. I guess we do have it here, because here we are perfectly comfortable looking at the computed style. So, I mean, technically we could look at the computed style in here as well. Maybe that would be fine. So we can just do computed values dot text transform. So let's see. Something like this. Okay. Yeah, it's a little awkward to do it in multiple places like that, but seems livable. So let's see if this solves the issue. I feel like it, what did I call it, H2? Right. Hey, wait, it's not uppercase. I have to let it be uppercased. Hey, it works. Okay, so let's see how it works on html5test.com. Hey, it no longer overlaps. Okay, so still the layout is not perfect, but at least it's like we don't have that super ugly overlap. So at this point, I feel more comfortable sharing a screenshot of it, I guess. So let's, I don't know, let's make it right away. I'm gonna try to frame it nicely here. You are using Linux, is that correct? It is correct, but I'm not gonna answer that question here right now. So, oh, why? It's weird how I was just thinking like the UI is not dark, but it's because I didn't set up this Qt6 GTK integration thing yet, which is a bit of a hassle. Oh, and I don't like having this clutter in the background of my screenshots. So let's fix that. Switch to a solid color background. Just a nice soft gray. There we go. Take the screenshot again. Boom. All right. Today we're showing the whole process. Okay, and then we will say something friendly like, here's HTML5 test. Is that what the site is called? HTML5 test, yes. In the Ladybird browser. Gotta get my emojis right here. Okay. And I usually pick the part of the world that I'm in, so the Europe, the Europe one. The little composite icon compositing here. You have to imagine the Ladybird browser icon. Just fixed one little layout issue. Just fix a little layout issue, but the page starting to look pretty good in our little browser. I just fixed one layout issue. And there are a few more to debug. The score is far from other browsers, but we're making good progress. All right. Let's also put one of those alt texts, which somebody before, like I wasn't writing alt texts to my image attachments on tweets, and then a bunch of people told me like, can you please do that because I'm using screen reader. And I thought, you know what, of course I can. Like, it doesn't take much time, and if it helps somebody understand what I'm posting, then of course. So this is a screenshot of the HTML5 test website in the Ladybird browser. Page layout looks pretty okay, and the test score is 266 out of 555. Okay. Yeah. Okay, well, no time to overthink it. There we go. Now let's write a commit message and stuff like that. So what do we have? Oh my goodness, I have never git committed on this new install. Let me fix that. What is my email address again? Okay. Nano. Okay, you can see here that this is a pretty new install. libweb. Resolve or apply CSS text transform during layout instead of during layout. Previously, we were doing this at the painting stage, which meant that layout used potentially used wrong glyphs for when measuring text. This could lead to incorrect layout. This would lead to incorrect layout metrics and was visible on HTML5 test, on the HTML5 test score display, for example. Cool. Yeah, that's pretty nice. All right, so now I was able to post the post I wanted with the thing fixed, and I think that was the whole mission. So that'll be the end of the video. If you made it here, thanks so much for watching and for hanging out. I really enjoy working on fixing little things in our web engine like this. It's just so much fun. And just to see the web sort of little by little looking more and more correct every day is so cool, I think. And it's really exciting how, like, it's taking a long time, of course, because it's a lot of work, but like it is so exciting to see it come together. So big thanks to everybody who's been working on that together with me this year, and let's continue doing it for a long time. Anyways, thanks for watching the video, and I will see you all next time. Merry Christmas and bye.